If you're searching for peace amongst the greenery, welcome to Gab Loves Plants Sydney. Good morning, everybody. I am on my way down to pick up some deliveries that have just come. Walking down the very long hallway. And I'm going to show you what I got. Very excited. This is going to be the last of the troughs that I am going to order for my balcony garden, and I'm going to show you how I'm setting them up. I've already got a whole bunch set up, which I will show you upstairs, but I thought I would film the last three because I'm pretty set in how I'm doing it now, and I thought it might be interesting for those of you who also want to set up a garden on your balconies. Here we are. This is very exciting. Are they both for me? I think so. Yes, that's for me and that's for me. Terrific. So let's just do a bit of a pull. As you can see, they're rather big. That is the size of them. So let's go on back. Oops. I've also got some other things that have arrived, which is great. Very pleased. And we will see. So I got this stuff from Temu, which is my favorite place to get stuff. And I will do this over a few mornings. I'll do this video so we can see what is happening. Down along this hallway down to here. Apartment. Here we are. And if you can see as we walk closer, you can tell it's my apartment because I have a plant living outside. Quick stop to look at the clouds. Aren't they beautiful? Now you can see this is unit heaven around here. I'm on the 11th floor in my new apartment. And I'm loving, look at all the sunlight streaming in the mornings. The sunlight streams in from here. Oh, and by the way, look at that. How good is that for a balcony? Here's my lovely glorious, one of them. And let's pop in. There we go. So, this is the apartment. And I'm going to hold off here because I've got to go to work here. I'm going to put stuff in. Oh, just dump those there, and I will deal with those later on. This is the view with the sun coming. Sun's up there, and it's Mascot train station down there for any of you who know whereabouts this is. And that is one side of my balcony, goes all the way along, and then I've got the other side at the other end of the apartment. I've just done a chop and extend on my Adansonii here, which is getting some nice growth now. Nice big leaves. It loves this position. It just keeps shooting up, so very happy with it there. Have some water this morning. Right, I gotta get back to work, so talk soon. Just a little bit of background here. I have a balcony in my apartment that goes around three sides of the apartment. I'm on the corner, or at one end of the building, and this is my balcony as it looks today. So I put up these lattices as privacy screens, which they've had a few problems of their own, and that one is covering a very ugly air conditioning vent. But this is a nice little area, especially now that it's screened off for some privacy, where I have two chairs. Eventually I'll have a dining set out here, but at the moment I've got two chairs. I've got an outdoor rug, so it's another room in my apartment. Now I'll just take you out a little bit and I'll show you some of the rest. I have water bottles everywhere because I'm going to be watering this afternoon. But if you have a look here, so uh, the the balcony starts here and wraps right around the building, as I said. So there's this little area here, and then there's this area here, which I've also got. This is off my bedroom, so I've also got this screened off for privacy. And I've got some just plants growing wild here. Planted up all sorts of things. And then if we continue walking around, that's my bedroom in there. If we continue walking around, we'll see I've got some plants growing there. And then here, my last little privacy screen for here, this corner. What this gives me some privacy from are the apartments that are looking directly in on me from there. And I've got apartments here and here and all the way to here. So then the balcony runs right down the edge of the building. And what I've done here is, first of all, I've put up some privacy screens and shade cloth, which stops the worst of the sun coming in. And then I bought these troughs from Temu, and I have planted up the troughs. Now, you'll see there are all kinds of different plants in the troughs. Basically, what I did was I decided to stop selling baby plants on Facebook Marketplace because it was just not fun anymore. I will make a video about my reasoning for doing that. But basically what I've done is I put all the baby plants in these troughs, and as you can see, they're doing exactly what I told people they would do when I was selling them, which was they're getting bigger and growing and being nice and happy. So basically, there's no real rhyme or reason to it. I just shoved them in as I went along, and I've got that big monstera in the corner there. I had to cut it up because it was not doing so well, and so I've got some big chunks of it here. This leaf is on the way out, but you can see a new leaf there is coming through, so that will be nice. And then I've got some elbows here as well. People didn't want to pay for elbows, and I wasn't willing to let them go for a ridiculous amount of money, so small amount of money, so I've just planted them all up in here as well. There's a tomato plant there. But basically, these troughs have worked out really, really well. They do not have drainage in the bottom of them. I may put drainage holes in them at some stage, but for the moment, they don't have any drainage. It hasn't been a problem. I water them overhead every day or two, and they plants are doing very well in them, so I don't see any reason why it won't continue to work. And it keeps the balcony cleaner, which is good. And then along here, that's where I showed you before. This is from the opposite view, and that's going down. That's area which I will also be screening off. That's the ugly side of having a garden on a balcony where you don't have a storage in the apartment where you want to keep your stuff. I do have storage in the apartment. I actually have a storage cage, which is terrific. But for the moment, that stuff's there. I will organize that when I get to it. If we move that along here, the reason I wanted to show you these troughs was I've got 3 more troughs, which was that package I picked up this morning, which I am going to be putting along here. So at the moment, you can see I've got lots of things on moss poles, and they're going to stay on moss poles, but it's sort of messy having them like this, and I would rather have them all in troughs like the other ones, so that this can be neat and tidy. You can see every time the wind blows, there's just detritus gets dumped down here, and I'm hoping that if I put some, the troughs down instead and plant these plants in the troughs, they will be happier. So that's the plan, and I thought I'd take you guys through it with me as I do it, because I've got lots of nice plants here. And my idea is that they'll grow up, and then I'll have them growing out, and eventually they will screen this lattice work and provide a nice green living shade cloth for me, which would be great. So that's the plan, and I will get back to it soon. This area gets flooded with afternoon sun, which is why I want to have the shade cloth up. Not shade cloth, but which is why I want to have the shade provided by the greenery. And we shall see how it all works out. Anyway, just thought I'd give you guys a little bit of a view of what I plan to do and how it could all work. And I will be back after I finish work to talk to you. Editing Gab here. The next section is me opening my packages from Temu, so you might not want to watch. Don't need the glasses on while making this video. I'm hoping you can hear me. I'm hoping the microphone is working well. And I have a number of things I want to do this afternoon. I've just finished work. It's 5 o'clock on Tuesday, the 24th of March, I think. And I wanted to let you guys see what I got from Temu in my latest haul. So the reason for doing this is that I got something else as well, which I'm going to do a video on, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to create a green wall behind me where you see this lattice. For the moment, let's just open up this one to start with. So a number of things in here, some planty and some not. I'm actually getting quite a few things that are useful for the outside and the inside of my new apartment. So I'm getting things like hooks and that sort of stuff from Temu as well. So first things first, a little box. No idea what this is. Let's open it up and have a look. Gotta say, I've only ever bought 2 things that were damaged in the shipping from Temu. One was a silver tray, which had a little bump in it. Obviously, it had been banged in steerage, and the other was some Christmas decorations I bought that were glass, and they were smashed to smithereens. I don't know what the delivery drivers were doing with that package, but they were completely smashed, and they were very delicate as well. But Temu gave me a refund, so it was not a problem at all. Okay, so this is a mister, and I will show you what it looks like when I get it set up.
But basically, what it does is it floats in water and it sends up a mist. So I bought a little fountain from Temu recently. There are planes going overhead. I'm not sure if you guys can hear that. But I bought a fountain from Temu, which is a solar powered fountain, and it comes on when it's sunny, and it's quite incredible the amount of stuff that comes out of it. And I just thought that would be pretty for this area of my balcony. And I thought a mister would as well. So this is actually a free gift. I got free gifts with purchase. With Temu, you often get free things depending on how much you've bought in the past. And I tend to buy quite a bit from Temu. And if you play the game right, you can get lots of free stuff. So this one was free. So I will figure out how to use that later on because it doesn't look like much here. Next, okay, this is going to be hit or miss. This is just a sweater that I bought, jumper that I bought. Depending on how the fabric feels is going to be dependent on whether or not it's going to get a lot of wear. It's nice and soft. It's just a big creamy jumper to wear during winter, which we are going into in a few months' time. Not that you would know it. And it's reasonably soft. Some things you get from Temu are super soft, and some things are very scratchy. This I got from Temu, and this is super soft. This green top I'm wearing at the moment. And this one's nice and soft too. Everything needs a wash before you can wear it. So I'll pop that over there. Okay, so this is yet another shade cloth privacy screen for my balcony area. This is the last one that I'm going to get. And this is going to go out the front of my apartment. And I will show you what they look like later on. But you can see through them, but they just block the harsh sun. You can probably see there's quite harsh sun here, although we're going into winter, so it's not quite as bad as it was in the middle of summer, but it's still quite hot. I mean, it's must be 5:15 now, and it is bloody hot still out here. And the birds are coming because they want to feed. These are cassowary. There's some sort of an Australian bird. I'll find out and I'll let you guys know at another date. But they're very cute and they come and visit me every afternoon, wanting food, of course. So next I have some, all right, these are some of the hooks I was talking about. Let's have a look. And these ones come with glue rather than with a sticker. These are heavy duty ones. And I was hoping they come with little carabiners. And what I'm hoping is that I can put these on the ceiling out here and stick them up with the super glue basically, and then hanging baskets from them along the railing here. And they'll look very pretty. I have a very, very small amount of confidence that these are going to work because nothing else that I've tried has worked. But I figured I may as well give them a go. If they don't work, the next thing is just going to be putting some little hooks with nails into the ceiling area there. There's sort of a stucco outside to this building. So it won't hurt it if I do it. I'm renting here, so I don't want to destroy the place, but I do want to be able to display my plants beautifully. So that's that one. I've got 2 boxes here. That's a bit noisy. I have a feeling I know what these are, though. I think these are more things for the hanging baskets. So let's just open this one up. It's very nice. Yes, this is one of the hanging baskets. Okay, so this is one of the hanging baskets that I've got. There's a little chain in there, and that will hang from there, obviously. And so that will be one of the ones that's up there. I'll put a plant in it. The plant will hang down. Look very pretty in time. Just a little basket. Let's see what this one is. There we go. Okay. This was another freebie that I got because I bought so much stuff. And this is another hanging basket, which is already broken. It's not broken, it's just come apart. But anyway, this is another hanging basket that will hang like this. And I may actually put some bird seed or something in that one and hang it up in the corner so that the animals can eat, so the birds can eat. That would be quite pretty to do that. There's no drainage hole in this one, so it's not really for a plant, even though they sort of advertise it for a plant, but I think some bird seed in that would look pretty. That's that one. Okay. Now these are something that's very useful, which I will show you later on. These are hooks that go on your balcony railing. And I've tried a number of different ones from Temu, and these ones are the best, so I'm actually now ordering a few extra. And again, because I ordered so many extra, I'm getting a couple free. I think I paid for these ones. This is one of the 3 packs. I think I got 1 free in the next delivery or something. But basically, kind of hard to see, but I'll put in a picture of what they look like when they're hanging up. It's funny. Depending on who packs these, all the different stuff from Temu, you can be getting exactly the same item, and yet the packaging can be completely different. So basically, that goes on your railing, your balcony railing, that hangs over the end, and you put a hanging planter of some sort underneath, like, whoops, not like that, but like so, and it hangs out over the railing, on the inside of the railing, not the outside of the railing. I don't want anything falling down onto people below me, but they always look pretty. So that's just another way to have even more plants on your balcony. Next, okay, this is cable ties. Can never have enough cable ties. These are metal cable ties. I've never seen them before. I'm not quite sure how they're going to work, but there are different lengths of them, I think. Yep, different lengths of them within here. Stainless steel cable ties, so hopefully they won't rust, but hopefully they will be able to let me hook things into them pretty easily and tie things down so they're nice and strong. All right, 2 more things in this bag, and then I think that's it. You've always got to check the bottoms of these bags. Sorry if that was a bit noisy. Because often they stick things to the bottoms of the bags, so things don't move around in shipping as much. Okay, these are smaller than I thought they were going to be. These are little sticky bits that you can stick underneath your carpets if you've got carpet on carpet or carpet on wood, that hold them down. I thought these were going to be about yay big from the pictures, but as you can see, they are teensy tiny. So they're going to need a lot of them in order to make them work. They might work on a rug at the front door or something like that. But just to keep them from rolling around, those are handy to have. And last but not least, what have we got here? Oh wait, I've got the other big one I've got to show you. All right. Oh, okay. These are some hooks, and again, they look a bit different to what they were. So these are little hooks that you can hang a handbag or a coat or something on at your front door that look a bit better than the 3M hooks. They're made out of wood. Seems like the ones in the photograph were shellacked. These are not. These are just sort of a raw wood. Not a problem. You hook them in. They've given you the screws and the mulling hooks to hook them in. I got 4 of them, and I just thought better than having something else at the front door that I can hang my my handbag up on. So anyway, that's that one. So that is almost it, except for the big reveal, which are the things that I'm going to put along the fence back here. So just let me get that one, and I will show you what it is. Here we go. Big heavy thing. Okay, so these are troughs, and I have a whole pack of them, which I will show you later on, going right along my balcony. My balcony here goes across 3 sides of the apartment. I'm at the end of the building, and the apartment is sort of long and thin, so it goes right to the edge, which means I have a balcony that goes right along the thing, and it's about 15, 16 meters long. So these are troughs, and they are 99 centimeters long each. No idea what that is in feet anymore. I think it's about 3 feet to a meter. And that's just from the time I lived in the States when I was a kid, so I'm probably wrong, but something like that. And it does love their plastic. That's the one thing that I really wish we could change. But it's not going to stop me buying from them. There is an awful lot of plastic in their stuff. It keeps things safe, I suppose. What these actually are is they're actually animal feeders. So I'm using them as planters, but they can be used as horse troughs. So you can put horse feed or pigs or any kind of animal you want in there. In here, if you've got lots of animals on a farm, I think that's probably what they were first used for, but then someone thought, what else could we sell these for to make more money? And someone thought, planters. And they're very cheap for planters. If you wanted to get a planter like this at Bunnings in Sydney or in Australia, you'd be paying $100 or something like that. And these work out to be, I think, $30 each, 20, between 20, depending on how many you buy and when you buy them, between $22 and $30 each. Temu is kind of like Alibaba and Wish.com.au and a lot of those, and Amazon and a lot of those other things, where there are many sellers on the platform selling the same goods. So if you ever want to use it, don't just go to the first thing and click on it and buy it. Click on it, put it in your cart, and then keep scrolling, and you will often find the same item for less money. So then you just put that one in your cart, you put the other one out of the cart, and Bob's your uncle, you've saved yourself some money. So here we go. This is now. If I was on a farm, I would actually really appreciate this particular packaging because it's reinforced, and I could even put soil and things in here, and it's almost like that netted stuff, but very, very strong. So if you have strong garbage or something, I keep these ones just in case I have something that I want to throw away. Like occasionally I'll get something that's infested with a plant that's infested with things. I pop it in one of those, seal it up, chuck it out. All right, so these are the troughs. They are 99 centimeters by, I think it's 30 centimeters wide, and 17 centimeters deep. And they don't look particularly pretty here, but imagine full of plants with plants trailing over the edges. They don't have any holes in them, which I actually liked, because when you have a balcony and you have things with holes in them, you tend to get a lot of mold and rust stains, or just stains. I mean, I've had metal ones in the past, and you tend to get rust stains and things underneath. Whereas plastic, I won't get any rust stains, so hopefully it will be much easier. There is cover over the balcony, so it's not as though these are going to get waterlogged. There is a floor above me. So I will show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to film the placement of these. All of these plants behind me they're all in individual little pots at the moment, so they're all going to get uprooted from their pots and put into here. I will show you how I do that. Basically, I'm going to put a layer of cocoa coir mulch in the bottom, about yay thick, and then some soil, and put the plants in. And then they will grow up, and hopefully I won't have to water them quite as much as I'm having to water them at the moment. I have been living for the past 10 years in an apartment that did not have a lot of sun, because it was south facing, and now I'm in an apartment that has sun all day long, depending on which side of the apartment you're on. This is the west facing side, so the sun is behind us there. It's probably staring at you guys right now. And it's quite unrelenting. So I'm also making a much more water retentive soil mix than I would normally use and than I used at my last place. So I'm having to change the way I'm managing all of my plants. Anyway, that's not so much for this video. That's for the next video on plants. So I'm going to say goodbye for now. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you want to see how I use all of these things, stick around and watch some of the other videos I'm going to put up. Bye. Have a good night.